Bitch. Scandal. Scandal, you did that shit tonight, okay? I'ma simply be honest, you did that shit tonight because I was sitting here at the last minute like, bitch, who the fuck? Oh my God, Scandal. Oh my God, Shonda, you must have been fucking listening to us when we said we was tired of the fuck shit, okay? We was tired of the way that the shit was going. We needed some excitement. And baby, you are giving it to us these past couple episodes. Shit, bitch. But I don't want this to be drawn out too long, okay? This was a little much right here. I had to brace myself for a second. I'm sitting here like, shit, damn, wait a minute. What the fuck just happened? I went through all those emotions and stuff like that. So, Scandal, season 6, episode 4, The Belt. We start off with Cyrus finna take his ass to jail. Baby, they dropped him off, the attorney general. He gets into the jail. They was like, what's your name? Cyrus Bean. Baby, what's your full name? Cyrus Rutherford or whatever, Rutherbeam, whatever the fuck, Beam. Okay? What are you in for? What are you charged with? What? What are you charged with? Assassination of the president. Bitch, when he said that, that guard looked up like, I said, oh shit. Oh shit. The guards ain't finna play nice with Cyrus. He gonna have to look out for the prisoners and the guards. So I knew automatically, because I watched Oz and all that shit. So I know about Gym Pop and, Special and all that shit. They weren't finna put him in Gym Pop with all them niggas and all them other people. You know what I'm saying? Not them Hispanics. Okay, not the Mexicans or whatever who's gonna be on Frankie's side. Cause y'all seen when the guard came up there and was like, hey, you need to shut the fuck up because there's a whole bunch of people out there in Gym Pop. You don't want to go there because they voted for Frankie Vargas, okay? Or they people voted for Frankie Vargas. They was here for him. I was like, oh shit, bitch. They put him in that cell, okay? And he asking for a pen and paper and all this shit. And I'm like, give him something. Girl, they weren't finna give him nothing. I was like, so y'all finna have him up in here 23 hours out the day to do nothing? Because they said, baby, when you wake up at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock it's inspection, and you get 1 hour outside at 3 o'clock. Bitch, when I thought I was on the same page with Cyrus, I thought when he said outside for exercise, we finna go out on the yard. No, nigga, we finna go to another room. You finna go into a smaller cage, and you finna walk around that bitch in a circle. I said, hold up. Hold up, they don't love you like you love you. No, they don't. They don't love you, Cyrus. You fucked up, okay? You really fucked up. And at this point in time, I was sitting here like the whole time the wheels in my head is turning. I'm like, Cyrus didn't do this. Cyrus did not do this, okay? Anybody who said that Cyrus did it, you're wrong. Even though it tried to make it seem last week that he implied to Tom that he wanted to do it when, his dick was up in Tom's mouth and he couldn't control himself. No, that's not what happened. I'm sitting here like, no, no, no. Cyrus hasn't broken this acting mode yet. Something is telling me, it's gnawing at me. Like, Cyrus did not do this at all. He had no parts of it. So when he was saying, do not touch Frankie, he meant that shit. When he said he loved Frankie, he meant that shit. I'm sitting here like, damn, Cyrus, how the fuck you gonna get out of this shit, bitch? Okay? That fucking, what his name? The guard, he was all up in his face and, he was like, you ain't gonna get no damn pencil and paper. He wanted a pen and a paper. He said, get to walking. And you go around in a circle and you can count, okay? He wanted to talk to Tom because he seen him, but they won't let him, he's in another part of the prison. So Elizabeth Vargas, Liz, bring her ass up there because this is what some fuck shit that Abby did. First of all, let's get to Millie and Olivia. They up in there. Olivia, I don't know. I am not gonna sit here and say that something. Olivia is using Millie, okay? We already know that. She basically put it out there that her thing is, we get into the White House. You my last chance to get in the White House. So if I got to be good girlfriends or fake like being good girlfriends with you, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to laugh with you. I'm going to tell you that, hey, Cyrus in jail. So that means that you going to be the next president and all this shit. And Millie all happy and shit. She up in there dancing to En Vogue. This my song. And I said, girl, y'all would be, of all En Vogue songs, you going to dance to Free Your Mind. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Color Don't be so shallow. Listen, I was sitting here like, do you know what the meaning of that song is? Okay, listen to the words. But in this political climate that's going on, somebody needs to listen to that, and they need to just blast that shit outside the White House. Nope, blast it outside the Oval Office. Just have one of his aides come out there like this. Okay, turn that iPod up. All right, but anyway. So they in there dancing, Huck and Quinn looking like, or Quinn Charlie and them, they look like, what the fuck is going on? She was like, look, girl, she in there happy because she thinks she got the position. Because the whole time I'm thinking like, how are you telling her that she got the actual nomination and she's gonna be the president? And that's not really 100% sure, because we know how scandal work and we know how the government work. They can just do this shit all over, or they can go get somebody else that was on the same ticket, in the same party or some shit. I don't know how this shit work, because I never lived through an assassination or some shit like this. This never happened to me, so I'm just inferring, okay? I'm just guessing, bitch. And Millie, let me tell you something. I know it's a plus for you to win, and you want to feel like you won, and now you finally accomplished your dream and your goal of being the president of the United States, the first woman president and all this shit. But baby, you doing a lot of celebration for somebody who got this shit by default. I wouldn't feel good about that shit. I mean, I'd be like, all right, I'm making history, but in the back of my mind, it'd be like, but I got this shit. The people didn't even really vote for me. Like, I got it by default because the nigga got killed. Okay. That's what it felt like. I was like, all right, you do what you got to do. But moving on from that, Huck is out here. Olivia said, we gonna make her believe that, she got the presidency, but we not gonna stop until she actually, and we not gonna celebrate until she actually sits her ass down in that Oval Office and they say that, girl, you being sworn in on January 20th, okay? That's what she was saying. I was like, well, see, Olivia, you need to tell your client that. All right, because you got her all hyped up and stuff. Oh my God, my stomach been grumbling. It literally sounds like the beginning of Lemonade when it comes on the movie and all that. I be like, bitch, what the fuck is going on? Like a thunderstorm is going on in my stomach. Been happening for the past 2 days. Gas. Anyway, moving on from that. What else was going on? What small shit was going on? Abby fucking ass. Let me tell you something. I was looking at make sure y'all go subscribe to them. Tiffany and Tanea, the show, THASHOW. Okay. B Stan 87. That's the name of their channel. And that's BEY Stan 87. Listen. She said Abby is on here trying to be like the next Olivia Pope. And I'm sitting here like looking at this whole thing and I'm just like, you know what? You the fuck right. Because everything that she been doing, she putting it out there doing these long ass monologues and stuff like Olivia Pope be doing. She trying to put her foot down, trying to tell David and the FBI director, girl, oh no, we're not going for the death penalty and all that stuff. It was like, wait a minute, it's not your call. It is my call. It's the president's call. No, it's my call because I speak for the president, and right now the president said this, and this is what we're going with. I said, slow the fuck down, Abby, because you are not Olivia. Only Olivia can get away with this bullshit, and that's because she was fucking him. That's why, okay? You're not, and you're doing way too fucking much, okay? So, she gonna tell Elizabeth to come up in there and go get a message or go visit Cyrus and tell him that, the death penalty off the table, whatever. Elizabeth said, bitch, I'm not doing shit until you offer me something. Because just for being around him for the past couple of days that I was, my name is fucking Mud, okay? I can't get no dinner reservations. Motherfuckers around here don't even want to speak to me. What you gonna do for me? But eventually the bitch go up there, and that's all she was gonna do. She literally said, well, Abby said that you ain't gonna get the death penalty. Okay, goodbye. Cyrus is like, come here, girl. I know you came all the way up here, and I know you see me in this situation. You probably don't really give a fuck, but I really need you to go get this letter to Tom. Tom is here. Bitch, why you can't give it to him yourself? Because he's in another block and they ain't gonna let me and all that stuff. Well, where the fucking letter at? I haven't gotten it yet. Bitch, then why you telling me this shit now? That's how Liz was looking like. Oh my God, I'm finna play messenger pigeon between these jailbirds. Like, literally. And so, go back to Cyrus, all right? Cyrus is in his jail cell, and he's just thinking, trying to figure out how the heck he can get this pencil, this pen and paper and all this shit. The guards being pissed off and dirty to him. They doing all this shit to him. I was like, well, Cyrus, you're getting a taste of your own little medicine, so it's jail. What is what's to be expected? Everybody's not gonna be nice to you, whatever. He has not a roommate, but it's another prisoner on his cell block, and he was like, "You want the belt?" I said, "Wait a minute, what the fuck?" Mind you, the episode is called The Belt. I was like, "You want the belt?" It was like, "You need to take that belt and go ahead and hang yourself with it." Because that's what the last few guys did when they was here. They couldn't take it. They eventually committed suicide right there where you were standing at. And I said, really? He was like, "Well, dude, what the fuck you in for?" He said, "I ate my mama. I ate my daddy. I ate my wife too. I stopped at eating a dog because even that's an animal will eat a dog." I said, "What the fuck? This Jeffrey Dahmer ass shit?" Okay. And then they realized that he was in murderers, famous murderers row or some shit like that. I said, "Girl, y'all doing the most, okay?" So, eventually, when another time we see Cyrus standing out there at his gate in his little cell, and we see the guard come up. He puts something inside one of the other cellmates or whatever jacket in his pocket right here, whatever. So Cyrus is dead ass looking. He made it known that I'm looking at your ass. So this is his leverage to get this pencil, this pen and paper that he needed. He was like, "Bitch, if you don't give me the pen and paper, I'ma tell your superior, your officer, the person your boss, that you up here, doing contraband and stuff." Cause the Jeffrey Dahmer told him that ain't no gun, bitch, that's drugs and shit. It was like, so you done got yourself in some shit with these people. They got some stuff on you, so therefore you being used as a drug mule. All right, I tell you this, give me the pen and the paper, and I'll tell you how the fuck to get out of this shit. He was like, "Okay, cool." Gave him the pen and the paper. He said, "Wait a minute, so how you gonna get me out of this shit?" He was like, "Listen to me. I worked with the president, okay, for all these years. And you know what his thing was? His thing was the oval. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. You have to give these people their oval, what it is that they want." I was like, "All right, okay." He was like, "Yeah, put that shit to use, okay?" And he was like, "And once you do that, you gonna get from under them." And I said, I didn't even really think about it. I left that shit alone right in there because I was like, what exactly can they, what they want from him, like, besides getting out of the fucking jail? All right, so we're gonna leave that alone for a second. We gonna get to Huck. Huck is out here looking at this old footage from Jenny off her cameras and stuff. And who is he looking at? The girl that was her friend that he met in the parking lot last week, okay? I said, "Huck, what you're doing is being fascinated by somebody, and it's a little creepy, and it's creeping me the fuck out." Because he was just sitting there like, I said, when Huck smiles, it's creepy as shit, bitch, okay? You don't know whether or not to smile with him or to be scared. Bitch, you're probably doing both, okay? You're like stuck in betwixt, okay? Then we see him and her, he putting security up in her house. And I said, "The fuck is going on, Huck?" Then they going out, he teaching her how to box and stuff. Then he asking Quinn and them, "How do you figure out whether somebody is a client or, friends?" And they was like going through all the motions and stuff. And then old girl was like, "All you gotta do is fucking ask them. That's what the fuck you do." Now let me ask this question, because we've been thinking this for the past 3 episodes and now 4. So it's Chris. He's Charlie. One of them C's. Charlie part of Olivia Pope and Associates now? When did he get inducted? I'm confused as to how he just popped up on the scene and he's been in every episode, okay? And guess who wasn't in this episode at all this week? Jake. Which I have a feeling Jake is a part of this shit, okay? Jake and we'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, so, Huck eventually goes back over there to old girl's house. He gonna go over there to her house. We gonna leave that shit right there. We're gonna go back to take a memory lane back trip to the prison, right? What happened? Cyrus get the pad, write the note, give it out to Liz. Next thing you know, Cyrus gets a visitor. Baby, I'm thinking it's Olivia finna come up there and rub some shit in her face, in his face, and all this stuff. Now, girl, it's the boo thing, or the ex, soon to be ex boo thing. Michael was sitting there and he was like, baby, oh my God, if I would have known that you was coming today, I would have got, made myself a little bit presentable. I said, bitch, you in prison. You ain't got shit else. You presentable enough, okay? He went over there trying to kiss him, and then the guards was like, no touching, okay? And I was like, oh, yeah, no touching, baby. And then I just noticed Michael's demeanor. Like, he was just sitting there like he didn't give a damn that Cyrus was there or not. Like, I'm not finna shower you with love or anything. I said, oh, what is this tension that I'm feeling from you, Michael? This heat that's coming off of you. Baby, Michael said, I am here to give you a divorce, okay? And we're gonna keep the house. And when I say me and baby Ella, y'all, I said her name right, okay? And we saw her this episode for a little glimpse, a little slight. And he was like, baby, what you talking about? He said, I seen this shit. He put them letters on the goddamn table. I said, this bitch Liz, she done set this motherfucker up. He was like, nah, baby, it ain't what you think. It ain't what you think. And I said, what the fuck was in the letters? Baby, Michael said, so you said all this shit and you did all this shit to him? You ain't never touched me or did nothing like that to me. So you mean you did all that with your mouth before you brought it home to me? I said, hold up. Before you brought your mouth home to me? Baby, this is intense. Michael is over, okay? Michael said, I'm tired of this bitch time, okay? This bitch came in between us once before, then again, and now he got your ass in prison and you still fucking with this motherfucker? God damn, I can't win, okay? I know I started off as a hoe, and I ain't really got that many opportunities and rights and stuff like that, but damn it, I'm human, okay? And I have feelings and emotions, and you fucking them up, okay, bitch? It's over. Cyrus was like, no, baby, listen, I was just trying to fuck with him and get him back on my side or whatever so he can go tell the truth. Michael wasn't trying to hear that shit, bitch. Okay? So at this point in time, he is over it. He over it. He just feel like the walls are crumbling down on him. Now let's pause for the cause and go back to take a trip down to the Washington D.C. Okay, to the White House. At this moment in time, we see Fitz in the bed, and I don't know what he reading or some shit or writing some shit. And next thing you know, we see a black hen come over and give him a pen or give her a pen. And I said, bitch, this FBI director, bitch, Angela, girl, you wasted no time getting up in bed with her. Soon as Olivia said, go ahead, girl, you went on ahead and said, I already did. I said, damn, Angela, you couldn't get the hint that she wasn't really telling you that you can go ahead and get her sloppy seconds. She still want that shit. But I mean, fuck, you do what you gotta do, but damn, you move fast. Okay, you claimed your shit. They all hugged up and you know what I like, you know what I like, you really, really pretty and you this and you that. I said, don't get too comfortable, Angela. He telling you all this shit only because he can't have Olivia. Baby, you are a replacement. Somebody, shout out to my girl Steph. She said alternative Olivia, okay? That's what the fuck you are, alright? Because it ain't really finna go off like you think. Girl, at this moment, she was talking about, yeah, I've sent people to jail and I know they got family and daughters and I know their daughters and husbands and stuff like that. And I can understand your position about, not wanting Cyrus to have the death penalty. At that moment in time, Fish said, wait a minute, what? Come again? Yeah, Abby said that you didn't want it. And he was like, oh, okay. He called Abby in, had David, the FBI chick, and him up in there. Abby come up in there thinking everything all good. And he was like, how dare you fucking speak on behalf of me? She was like, wait a minute, this is what we talked. No, this is what you talked about, okay? This is not your position. I am the fucking president. I am commander-in-chief, and this is what I say, and what I say goes. And don't you ever speak on behalf of me like that again. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you off this case. You are not to be any association with this shit. And I said, see, Abby, you was doing too fucking much. You could have eased it in there, but you didn't. You fucked it all up, okay? Trying to be Olivia fucking Pope and you failed, bitch. And let me tell you something. Olivia didn't replace Abby with Millie for the time being, okay? Because I think she playing that bitch too. I don't think she really liked Millie. But anyway, moving on from that, go back to the prison. We see the guard come over there to Cyrus and was like, yo, you want to go outside? For real? Next thing you know, because Cyrus is in his feelings and, Jeffrey Dahmer talking about some time to get that belt. I said, shut up, Jeffrey. Damn. And Cyrus was like, just about to break down. And when the guard was like, I got a buddy that can let you go outside for a few minutes, like outside, outside. Cyrus started breaking down, crying and shit. So he was like, what that mean? He was like, go ahead, yeah, we can go outside. Baby, they went outside. The guard closed the door while he was outside, and the gate on the opposite end opened up. Cyrus was looking like, what the fuck is going on? Man, these cholos came out there and beat the dog shit out of him. Okay, beat the dog shit. And I said, God damn it, that's they over. Bitch, your over was me, okay? And then after they beat him so bad, this motherfucker down there hallucinating that, he in the hospital and Michael was there and Olivia's there apologizing, saying that no, it was Tom. Tom just did that, trying to fuck with you and all that stuff, and you're innocent and you're about to be the president. I'm not gonna get in the way. This how I knew it was a dream when it was like when she said I wasn't getting away and only thing that you need to do is have Millie on a ticket and shit. I said, bitch, please, Olivia ain't finna get that shit up. Next thing you know, he's at the inauguration getting sworn in. I said, look at baby Keisha. Okay, her little twist outs was a little cute. And then he's in the Oval Office, but Millie come in and was like, you're gonna have to get the fuck out because we saw the pictures still of this her family and not his. And she was like, you're gonna have to get the fuck out because I don't want you bleeding on my floor. Child, it gets back to reality. Cyrus is fucked the fuck up, okay? And at this point, he winds up going to the telephone and he was like, yo, I need you to get, he called in Olivia, trying to tell her, bitch, I didn't do this shit. You need to listen to your gut and understand, listen, I know I'm a monster, but I wouldn't go this far. Olivia said, you know what, you gotta man up, okay? You have to man the fuck up and do something about this shit and be honest with yourself. You did this shit, let it go, man the fuck up. I'm your friend, but I won't be calling you no more. But bitch, you ain't my friend then. Don't tell me no shit like that. Okay? You ain't my friend. You said you ain't gonna call me no more, but you my friend. Fuck you mean? So after that, Cyrus is in his bed, in his bunk, just looking like he just got this defeated look on his face, like he's staring out into space. Then all of a sudden he go tell the guard, I need that belt. He was like, nah, dude, you ain't gonna do that shit on my watch, whatever. He was like, just get somebody else, like another officer that you don't like, cause all of y'all got the same standard issue belts and shit. And so at this moment, I was like, oh my God, Cyrus, you really about to do this shit? Quit being so fucking dramatic. And so he was like, bitch, they had this little conversation. He came back when his shift was over. He was like, yo, my shift over. You still want that belt? He was like, yeah. So he gives him the belt, or he was about to get the belt or some shit. And I'm thinking that he about to give the belt to Cyrus. That didn't happen. So at this point, I hear him go away, and I'm thinking that he about to give the belt or go in there and kill Jeffrey Dahmer because Jeffrey Dahmer talked too goddamn much. And then, because then we hear this strangling shit, and then when the camera finally go out there in the hallway, no, Jeffrey Dahmer is strangling the fuck out of this guard, and then he gets out the gate, unlocks Cyrus' gate, he still got him strangled the fuck up and go down there to Tom's place, right? Bitch, Jeffrey Dahmer put that belt around Tom's neck and was choking the damn shit out of him, and then, Tom was like, I lied, I didn't do it, I'm innocent, and you're innocent. I said, bitch, the fuck, what? Meanwhile, in Olivia Pope and Associates, Child Quinn then called Huck and said, Tom, we done found the evidence that Tom didn't do this shit. Tom was over 600 miles away, bitch, okay, on this day. So if Tom didn't do it, that means that Cyrus is innocent. Bitch, Cyrus was over. He didn't even care that the guards were finna come up in there and fuck them up. When they took him out or whatever, he was like, I'm innocent. And he was trying to get Tom to tell him who did it. And I was like, baby, process of elimination. The only people that's left is Jake and Papa Pope, bitch. We ain't seen Jake this whole episode. We barely saw him this whole season. But yet we gonna see him next week having marital issues, okay? It's Hope versus housewife. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, Papa Pope has to have his hand into this. And I just don't know. I just don't know. Oh my God, y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode. This episode was good, okay?